nobody but by shore. What do you want? It's my boy Sven you need to listen to. He sings at the inn most every night.
Did I see you talking to Sven? Maybe not.
He's a bard, so he says. Occasionally, he finds time to do his job here at the mill. Thinks his ballads and sonnets are going to convince Camilla Valerius to marry him. As if she would say yes. An intelligent, beautiful woman like her wouldn't fall for that nonsense. I hope. I've been thinking. Maybe Camilla needs a little help seeing Sven for what he is. Could you give her this letter and say it's from Sven? I think I've matched that Nord's lack of cleverness perfectly. Farewell.
The warm sand of elsewhere is far away from here.
Please, come and browse our goods.
Khajiit welcomes you.
Many fine
also
things are
your
here,
boy.
friend.
Kajita's wares. If you have coin.
Halt! City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Riverwood's in danger too? You better go on in. You'll find the Jarl in Dragon's Reach, at the top of the hill. They say Helgen got hit by a dragon. One of those horrors comes here. We'll be ready.
This one.
Brigands I can handle, but this needs supplies? See Bellathor at his store. Sleazy little man, but he has good stock.
What is it?
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask Yorland Greymane for help?
I'd sooner bend my knee to Ulfric's Stormcloak. Besides, Greymane would never make steel for the Legion.
Have it your way. I'll take the job, but don't expect a miracle. Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside. Yes, actually. How about you smith me an iron dagger? Here's everything you need to make one. Go ahead. Plenty. I'd say we're prosperous enough. Most folk don't go hungry, if they're willing to work hard. The city's ruled by the Jarl up in Dragon's Reach. That's the fortress there, up on the tall hill. But you're probably more interested in your Vasker, Mead Hall of the Companions. Their deeds of war and valor are legendary. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything. I don't claim to be the best at bluffs.
Welcome to War Maidens. Now don't let the name worry you. We got plenty of steel for fighting men. Adrienne, at her forge, just outside. Place is named after her. War Maidens. It's a childhood nickname given by her father. What I hear, she was playing with swords even back then. Anyway, our wares are strong and the price is fair. What else matters? That'll be the Jarl, Balgruf the Greater. He's an honorable enough man. Never done wrong by me or my kin. Things are tough for him now, I'd wager, what with the fighting and the dragons. But Balgruf's a tough old Nord. He can handle it. Good doing business with you.
Cause trouble in Whiterun and I'll haul you into the Dragon's Reach dungeon myself. What is it?
Ah, hello, my Argonian friend. In the market for some hunting supplies? Yes, I hear that question often. My brother Honorius and I came up with it one night after consuming rather too much mead. After our drinks, we went out for a moonlight hunt. We got separated, and in his drunken state, my brother mistook me for a deer. He shot an arrow that pierced my, well, rump. After such a memorable adventure, we knew we had the name for our shop. Try Hulda, the innkeeper at the Bannered Mare. It's just up the road near the market. You should check in at Dragon's Reach too. There's so much going on these days. The Jarl or his steward might have need of help. Thank you very much for your business.
Ulfred, patron of the great clan Battleborn, a name I'm sure you know well. Uncivilized pelt-wearing axe-draggers. It's a wonder they don't still live in a cave like those ancestors they keep boasting about. It's true, the Vignar Greymane and his lot are one of Whiterun's oldest and, depending on who you ask, most respected clans. I don't dispute that. But it's one thing to take pride in your lineage, and another to cling blindly to the past. What they call honor and tradition, I call ignorance. Battleborn is a name out of legend, sung in the songs of old and heard in deeds of valor for 100 generations. For Clan Battleborn they cry in the mead halls, first into the fray and last to quit their ale. We've got honor, wealth, and titles too, aye, and buxom women to warm your bed on a cold Skyrim night. Now, if that don't answer your question, then no words will. Money, you laggard. What else? It always comes down to coin. The Greymanes have deep roots in Whiterun, but so do we. Difference is, we're rich. And Vignar hates it. Oh, and they hate it too. All their big talk of pride and honor. What have they got to show for it? Beggars' rags and stale bread. We've got the same pride, same honor, and we've got wealth. No wonder they envy us. You watch yourself out there.
I know nothing of fear, and nothing of remorse. Pay my fee, and together we will vanquish any foe. I am an artisan, painting in strokes of blood red upon the canvas of life. But yes, I will take coin to fight at your side. After all, where is the value in creating art if there is nobody left alive to see it? If you change your mind, seek me out here. Walk always in shadows, so that you will see.
I'm the commander of the...
Blade and shadow, silence and death. These are my arts, for a modest fee.
Maybe some other time I'll reveal your destiny. Tea leaves, palm reading, crystal scrying. Oh, maybe trepanning.
I'd even buy one of your relatives if you're looking to sell. Yeah, that's a little joke. Isn't it obvious? Why, the wonderful weather and hospitable people, of course. Not to mention my great fondness for dragons and petty political power struggles. But without a doubt, the most compelling feature of this frozen wasteland is the volley of inane questions leveled at me on a regular basis. Interesting, to say the least. What with all that's been going on. On the one hand, supplies are harder to come by since fewer traders are traveling the roads these days. But on the other, the scarcity of supplies has led to some, elevated prices. All that matters is that I have what you need, and it's worth every septum. Do come back. Please do look around. I'm sure I have something you'll want.
What of my son, What of Thorald? Is he nothing? So don't talk to me.
Let me know if you see anything you like. You look rather pale. Could be ataxia. It's quite a problem back home in Cyrodiil. Of a sort. I don't have formal training in the restoration school, but something just as good. Within these walls, I have all that I need to brew a potion for nearly any ailment. If I had a septum for every case of rock joint or whitbane I've cured since I opened this shop, I'd be a rich woman indeed. Why? Because I'm a proud citizen of the Empire? Because the Stormcloaks only want Nords in Skyrim? The Stormcloaks can rot in oblivion for all I care. I've lived in this city for 20 years. 20! Come back anytime if you need a remedy.
You know what's wrong with Skyrim these days? Everyone is obsessed with death.
What is it?
People have forgotten humor, poetry, romance.
There's a rift here in Skyrim. Can't neither magic
I
nor
ain't
pass
done
enough
nothing.
time.
Only if I can help it. But damn if I ain't almost so.
Right. Life's hard enough with all these men propositioning me. But that bard Mikhail is begging for a dagger up against his throat, the way he goes on about me. I heard him boasting at the Bannered Mare, saying he'll conquer me as a true Nord conquers any harsh beast. Huh! If you want to try, go right ahead. I don't think anything will get through that thick skull of his, though. You've got no idea. Half the men in Whiterun have proposed to me. Some were even single. They'll never understand. No amount of flowers or honeyed words are going to change my mind. Right now, all that matters is my daughter Mila. No man's going to get between me and my little girl. Remember, fresh fruit and vegetables every day.
Well met, Traveler. What brings you to Whiterun? A pity. And words I hear too often. But there's no shame in it. One of them dragons comes calling in Whiterun. The place will go up like tinder. Aye, that I do. Half all my life. We Battleborns have been here since the beginning, along with the Greymanes. Our family's been closest kin for generations, but Ulfric Stormcloak's uprising has divided us. Now, seems we can scarce look at each other without coming to blows. Petty and foolish, that. They are saying dragons have returned to Skyrim. Now that's a real problem. Ah, the most important question of all, that one. You'll want the Bannered Mare. See old Hulda. She'll keep you swimming in mead. But mind the bard, Mikhail. Poncy little milk drinker, that one.
Finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Man gives bards a bad name. We Nords have a long history as warrior poets. I am proud to count myself among them. But Mikael, he sings only for gold and the affections of wenches. He dishonors our traditions. Ain't sure if they're taking on new members, but you should talk to the companions. They're over in their hall, Jorvaskr. If by work, you mean testing your steel in bloody battle. May your sword be sharp, and your tongue sharp.
There's a route here in Skyrim. Can't believe
Finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Oh yes, hunting is my great passion. That's why my brother and I opened a shop to sell hunting supplies. It's the Drunken Huntsman down by the main gate. He tends the store, and I've got this stall.
Good hunting.
Elder Onstad has come at last. The season unending. War without end.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. I think I got a clean mug around here somewhere. Sadia, dear?
Yes, Mom?
We're running low on the blackbriar meat. In a couple of days, I'll have you make a run, fetch some more.
Oh, yes, Miss Hulda.
The security, the guards in this city are all lazy and undisciplined. Things need to change.
If it's a lady you're looking for, you best look elsewhere. Once Mikhail gets them, they're got. There's a whole college up in Solitude where they teach the arts. Song, lute playing, poetry. I studied there myself. Had to leave over a misunderstanding with the head mistress. Well, more a misunderstanding with her husband. I'm a bard. Trained at the Bard's College in Solitude. Wanderers like you should think about applying. Carlotta put you up to this, didn't she? I'm sorry, but that fiery widow is mine. She just doesn't know it yet. What did you just say? All I heard was a sound of jealousy. Bribing me? Well, Bard does need to eat. On my ancestors' honor, I won't trouble sweet Carlotta again. Some parting advice?
Come on, Caius.
Sonnets.
Walks around Dragon's Reach.
Oh, did you need something?
I could do his job blindfolded.
Think you can go blade to blade with me? You'd be dead in 6 seconds. The heat of the battle is the fire that forges the strongest blades. It's an old Nord proverb. That, and a true Nord never misses a chance to test her worth. You've been talking to those companions? Too hot-headed, they cried. Weak, pathetic cowards, the lot of them. It wasn't my fault. I told them over and over that it was an accident. They wanted me to prove my worth. So they threw me up against a young whelp of a lad, hardly old enough to grow his first chin hairs. I guess they thought a woman wasn't strong enough to hurt him. I didn't mean for him to die. Why would I want that? I just lost control. Good. Chat time's over.
You know what's wrong with Skyrim these days? Everyone is obsessed with death.
If it's work you're looking for, Hulda's the one to talk to.
Depends. Are you thirsty? Hungry? Both. Now please, no more questions.
If it's work you need, how about chopping up some wood for the fires? Have you seen that shrine of Asura? They say the Dark Elves built it after they fled from Morrowind. Sight to see. I assume you saw the Elder Gleam? Big tree, all burnt up, in the middle of the Wind District? It's part of the Temple of Kinnareth. People want Danica to do something about it, but I don't know what they expect. Magic is for the weak. Elves, I mean. They keep to that college in Winterhold. They know their place. Of course, there is Farengar. He might be the Jarl's wizard, but at least he's a Nord. I should have guessed as much. Your kind sticks to that college in Winterhold, as well they should. You'd never think to learn from a Nord like the Jarl's wizard. People say there is someone in Riften that can change your face, make you look completely different. Do you believe that? The companions? In Jorvasker? They're recruiting new members from what I hear. Need anything else? Just let me know.
Need something?
I've got a hungry daughter to feed, so selling my produce is really the only thing I care about. Really? You convinced that lute player to stop chasing me? I'd thank the gods, but I'll settle for thanking you. Here's some coin for your help. Remember, fresh fruit and vegetables every day.
You should talk to the Jarl up in Dragon's Reach, and any aid you can.
Stay out of trouble, Argonian.
Old friend. Patron of the great clan Battleborn. And just one more thing the Greymanes want to blame on others. It's not my fault they turned their backs on the Empire, or their mule of a son raised arms against it. And yet, they want to heap the fault on my family's good name? Ah! You watch yourself out there.
All I can think about is my son, my Thorold. They say that he was killed, but I know better. I know my son is alive. Those Battleborn, they're in with the Imperials. They know it too, and yet they lie to my very face. It's not wise to discuss it here. Please, if you truly wish to help, meet me at my home. I'll tell you the whole story.
I know your family's honor is important to you, but we can't afford
You tried
it.
mercenary work? It might suit you. No, I'm not. Looks like we've got something in common then. No, I'm a Redguard. My family hails from the Imperial Province. But I left home when I was just a lad. Been wandering ever since. It took me weeks to find that thieves' den. I just need to hire one, maybe two good men. You won't
Welcome
starve.
to our home.
Mother, what's the meaning of this? Who have you brought into our home?
Adelstein, put that down. He's here to help us find Thorald.
How do we know he's not spying for the Battleborn? This was foolish. We can't trust anyone. Who knows what they'll do if they find me here.
I can't take any more
So,
of this.
you're here to help?
Weapons, please, let's just talk.
My brother Thorald, he was fighting for the Stormcloaks and went missing. Everyone assumes he's dead. But he's not, I just know it. The Imperials captured him, and they're holding him someplace. The Battleborns know where. I'd go and search their house for proof, but they want me to. I'd be captured, and then we'll never know what happened to him. So I need someone to find that proof for me. The Battleborns, the Emperor's biggest bootlickers here in Whiterun. Their connections to the Empire and the Legion are well known. When Thorald didn't return home, there was no question in my mind. They knew Thorald supported the Stormcloaks, knew he was gonna aid them in battle, made sure he didn't come back. Locked him up someplace to get back at my family, I'm sure of it. Anything that confirms that Thorald isn't dead, but is being held captive, I know those Battleborns have it. They'd be hiding it, of course. Wouldn't want it to get out that they've been lying this whole time. But you might be able to butter them up enough to lower their guard. All right.
Thorald's disappearance has left our family in shambles. It's hardly a secret that they have ties to the Empire and hate anyone who speaks out against it. Thorald did worse. He took action against the Empire, and the Battleborns knew it. He's my son. I feel it in my heart. Oh, you'd understand if you had children. I can tell you're new around here asking a question like that. My husband Eorland tends the Skyforge up at Jorvaskr, the Companion's Mead Hall. Oh, there's no finer smith in the Nine Halls. You should ask him about his work. It's the only subject that'll get him talking. Well, that and maybe those stuck-up, dung-sniffing Battleborns. Head up the steps from the market and look to your right. Can't miss it. My husband Eorland. You should ask him about his work.
Do you have news? Did you find something?
Get him talking.
Welcome, child.
Thank you. The pain is already easing.
The Gilder Green, yes. It's a bit of an eyesore at the moment. More of a problem for the pilgrims than for me. But not many of them around anymore. To the east of here is a hidden grove where the Elder Gleam resides. It's the oldest living thing in Skyrim, maybe all of Tamriel. Our tree here in the city was grown from a cutting of that tree. You can still feel the glory of the mother tree through it.
Better already.
Even its name is an echo. I've thought about that. Trees like this never really die. They only slumber. I think if we had some of the sap from the parent tree, we could wake up its child. But even if you could get to the Elder Gleam, you couldn't tap it. Not with any normal metal. If you want to help, you'll need something to cut into it first. You'll have to deal with the Hag Ravens. I've heard about a weapon they've made for sacrificing Spriggans. It's called Nettlebane. The hags terrify me, or I would have gone after it myself. Your spirit is strong. Kinnereth's winds will guide your path. It's held in a hagraven nest called Orphan Rock. So, have you gotten Nettlebane back from those filthy hagravens yet? It's an old tree, very old. They say it was a seedling when the first men were arriving from Atmora, thousands of years ago. The sap is precious. It can restore barren fields or bring life to rocks. I can use it to repair the Elder Gleam, so we can worship properly again.
Thank you. The pain is already easing.
Indeed. The temple here in the city is my charge. The goddess's divine blessings have no doubt helped make Whiterun a thriving and prosperous city. After all, it is she who brings rain to our crops and fair weather on the harvest days. Somewhat, yes. At first it seemed a distant thing, heard only in the idle speech of guards and traders. When the wounded soldiers began to return from battle, I did what I could to help them. As more of the sick and injured came to the temple, my work as a healer became more important than my duties as a priestess. I wish only an end to the fighting, so that I can tend to the temple once more. May Kinnereth's winds blow you to fortune. So, have you gotten Nettlebane back from those filthy hagravens yet?
Tell me, do you believe in mighty Arche, god of life and death? I'm glad to know that, because I need your help. You see, I've lost something precious. My amulet of Arche. It's the source of my divine powers and also a sacred badge of office. I misplaced it in the catacombs. I'd look for it, but I have been hearing noises down there. I fear the dead have become restless. Without that amulet, I'm powerless to confront them. Would you be willing to search for it? I'll just wait here and make sure nothing foul escapes the catacombs. The blessing of Arche be upon me.
out of trouble.
You look tired, friend. Planet Mare has beds for rest.
Hey, you at it again?
Watch the eyes.
I just tried to keep out of the way when they start roughhousing. A good bunch of men and women who make too much a mess, if you ask me. Goodbye, dear.
Just keep swinging.
What is it? None of our business. There's no honor to be had in the squabbling of Jarls.
Give him while you still can.
A fight?
Ask any fool around here, get a different answer. Mercenaries, warriors of honor, brothers and sisters of the blade, drunken rabble. Take your pick. I've been here longer than most of them. Even I don't know sometimes. I just hope they don't kill each other.
I'll see you.
I learned the ways of the blade in the Great War. Nearly lost my life outside the Imperial City. I came home to Skyrim when it was all over, but I wasn't much good at anything other than fighting. Wandered around as a blade for hire. It was a damned good one, too. The money was good, and the women were good, and the drinks were good. But I was losing myself, my heart. I was lucky the companions found me. Now there's a reason to be fighting. The honor of my brothers and sisters is worth more than coin. Of course the money is still good. And the drinks. I'll take my leave then.
Oh, I'm just a servant, dear. You want to talk to one of the companions, I'm sure.
So that's that.
Haven't seen your face before. I'm watching you.
If you... Ysgramor himself wouldn't have the patience to deal with all the rabble around here. Kodlak says not to worry about it. I worry that a bunch of snowberries are out there earning glory while we stay out of it. But I will follow the old man's lead, as ever. An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough. My mother was a companion, and her mother, and all the women in my family back to Harati Blackblade. I stayed with my father in the woods until I was old enough for my trial. We hunted everything there was to hunt. Good training. Ma didn't live long enough to see me join, but I fight to honor her and all my shield sisters through time. I'll take my leave then.
Oh, got more to say. What's on your mind? The Circle are the ones who parcel out the jobs. That's Ayla, Skjor, and the brothers, Farkas and Vilkas. Kodlak advises them, but he doesn't really give orders. Are you kidding? I've wanted to be with them since I was a little girl. Haven't you heard the stories of Kodlak and Skjor fighting off the 101 orc berserkers? Skjor says it was more like 40, but he's just being modest. Where else would I want to be but here? Learning from them, fighting at their sides. Only the most famous warrior band in all of Skyrim. Have you been living with the Horkers? When we arrive, blood is spilled and our blades sing to the glories of Ysgramor. This is life, brother. The struggle is what reminds us to draw breath. Mm-hmm. Hmm? Hmm?
Be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of meat. Be glad you're here in the city and not out in Riverwood. Those poor sods don't even have a wall.
What would you have me do then? Nothing?
My lord, please. This is no time for rash action. I just think we need more information before we act.
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgrup is not receiving visitors. Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
Come to... It seems this damnable conflict has claimed everyone's passions of late. Me? I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them for one of her potions. Would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense. Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task. A prospective student, are you? Well, I'm afraid I'm not much good at teaching. You should try your luck at the College of Winterhold. I'll put it simply, so you'll understand. I advise the Jarl in matters of magic. If the Hold is faced with any threats or mysteries of a magical nature, I am called upon to explain things and suggest a course of action. Hopefully that answer will satisfy you. Good day.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes? Really? You're certainly forthright about your criminal past. But it's none of my concern who the Imperials want to execute, especially now. What I want to know is, what exactly happened at Helgen? I should have guessed Ulfric would be mixed up in this. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains...
That is a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons. Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there. Straight to the point, eh? No need for tedious hows and whys. I like that. Leave those details to your betters, am I right? I, learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself. An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there. Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources. I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. Even I used to think it was just a myth. But not anymore. The Dragon War was a real event, although only the barest glimmer of the actual events has come down to us. Far back in the Mythic era, the dragons were worshipped as gods in Skyrim. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point, the Nords rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the Nords overthrew their dragon overlords. Oh no, many were killed, of course, but many survived into historical times. Why, this very palace was built by one of Balgruf's ancestors to hold a captive dragon. Hence its name, Dragon's Reach. If I said that was a tedious question, would you be smart enough to know what I meant? Probably not. As long as I'm left alone to pursue my research, I don't care who gives the orders. Now, I'm a busy man, and your pointless questions are boring me terribly. Good day.
This is a priority now. Anything we can use to fight this dragon, or dragons, we need it quickly, before it's too late.
Of course, Jarl Balgruf. You seem to have found me an able assistant. I'm sure he will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.